Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to episode 11 of the Ready Up podcast. As always, my name's Nal. Joining me today is Bobby Boucher, the bald bearded bruiser Bobbert. If it's your first time listening to the podcast, what we basically do every week, me and Bobby will talk about what we've been playing, what we've been at. Bobby will drink some nice cocktails by the looks of things. Okay, we'll get at that in a second. And what we do is we cover gaming news. Obviously, that is kind of what the whole podcast is about. All things games, what we've been playing, what we're looking forward to, and basically news and rumours throughout the week. So, Bobby, what are you drinking, out of interest?
I am drinking a peach on the beach.
A peach on the beach? What's that consist of?
I think it's the same as a Sax on the beach, but it's peach on the beach.
What is Sax on the beach? Like orange?
Yeah, it's like orange and orange.
Orange
I have
juice?
no idea.
Yeah,
I'm not
probably.
a big cocktail drinker. We went to Tesco's last night and just grabbed a load of different ones.
Man, I'm in the mood for
And-
like some beer or something. I should have bought some beer. Some brewskis.
I always have something.
Yeah, I don't really drink that much, but I actually do. You know, I love just going to the bar and having a pint. Fucking love it.
I haven't done that in ages. Just go down, just have like a pint.
What are you doing for St. Paddy's Day? You a Catholic, you?
I don't know. Usually the Feds do something, don't they?
Yeah. I'm off as well. I'm off next week. I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I was going to say Friday. So I might go to the bar. If you're
I'd
up for it.
probably be off Friday.
Get your Celtic top out.
Aye.
Would you celebrate St. Paddy's?
Oh, I go out. I haven't been out properly in fucking ages, like, but I always go out for it, like, even with the kids or something, do something like that. I used to go out drinking for it.
Yeah. Fuck.
Mm.
St. Paddy's Day drinking was mad.
Yeah, it's good crack.
But even that, to see going into town and all that, mate, I don't know when's the last time you went to a nightclub?
God, I never got into any of the ones in Belfast.
Really? I wonder why. You
Yeah.
think you're fucking about to rob everyone? Especially in
Aye,
pictures
well,
the other day. You're like, look how much weight I lost. I was like, you look how you
It
could
was
stab someone.
Yeah, so back then, like, but obviously didn't have a beard or anything. I had the wee smicker haircut, tattoos in my neck, and stuff, and all I ever got was not the night.
Do you think you're a smick?
No, not that. I know.
Do you think
No,
you
fuck.
were?
I would say I would definitely.
See, you weren't like
100%.
I don't really, obviously, for anyone listening, me and Bobby went to the same school, had the same mate, and probably didn't never even talk a word to each other, but I can't remember. You looked smicky, but you weren't smicky. Do you know what I mean? It was like
Mhm.
imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like maybe you wanted to be a smick. Although he does have his eye. Do you still have your eyebrow pierced? There you are. Jesus
Yes.
Christ. Well, let's get into it. I think, have you anything to ask myself before we move on? Maybe we'll go to the Fids next week and we'll have a drink. There you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spot
No,
on.
nothing else. Nothing in general.
So, Bobby, talk to me.
That's-
What's happening with this Switch?
I've had one of them weeks. Do you know them weeks where you just get into a bit of a rut and you don't know what to play, so you end up playing nothing?
That's what I said. Yeah, you download, start everything, and don't play anything.
Yeah,
They're the worst,
so
mate. They actually really melt me those times.
it's fucking brutal because I've been wanting to, but like, I got home early and all a couple of days this week, 12 o'clock and all I was in, and I didn't even play nothing. I just watched TV because I just couldn't decide what I wanted to play.
And then you put it on, you're not having fun.
Yeah, you stick it on, you're like, oh, this isn't what I'm looking for right now.
Mindset.
Mindset.
It is. It is. When you think about it, mate. That's
So I
what's
haven't
it.
really played that much. So actually, I beat a wee puzzle game on the Switch.
What was it?
It was called Hentai World.
Hentai World.
Mhm.
Hentai is fucking anime porn, is it not?
Yeah.
Man, what was the puzzle game? Wait there. What did it
yeah,
consist
puzzle.
of?
So I think it was only like £1.70 something on the Switch store. It was on sale, so it was like, fuck it. So what you do is there's different levels, as in there's different people, women, different pictures. So you go on and it's a woman, say, standing there, fully clothed,
Mm-hmm.
lying on a bed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm so hot, I need to take my jacket off. And then you press A, and then it turns into a puzzle.
Like a jigsaw
Yeah.
puzzle or what?
Not like a jigsaw, it's like a 6-piece one where they all move about, and you have to restart
Oh.
them back into the same place. You know what I'm on about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so once you do that there, she was like, oh, thank God. And then she would take the jacket off. And she was like, she would say something else. And then you do it again, turns into a bit of a harder puzzle, more squares.
Right.
They kind of rotate around. Then once she does that, then she maybe take a t-shirt off.
Right.
Then you get down to the teddies and stuff.
Do you get full bush or what?
No, full teddies though.
Teddies. That reminds me, do you remember in school you used to kind of get on the games where it was like collect the beers when they're falling, and then the picture would have the girls getting topless throughout?
Fucking hell,
They
yeah.
are blasting past. I remember that in,
Holy
in high
shit.
school, like going, get the tits.
Yeah.
How
But
out of 10 were you playing it?
I wasn't really. I was sitting beside Demi like when she was watching TV playing it.
Did she know what you were playing?
No, not really.
You didn't tell her, saying, "Look, I'm playing this, and this is the
I'm
reason."
not going to fucking announce it to the world that I'm
Sure,
playing it, am I?
son. Come on, I got you a new Switch game.
It was quite good though. It was quite just just sitting there for an hour, just doing some puzzles.
This is where the OLED would come in handy, mate. Those proper blacks.
That's what I was thinking. I sat down playing it, and I was like, "Fuck, the OLED would really pop here, like around the nips."
So you've played a few games. Actually, you played fucking tons for but 10 minutes of everything. So I've tasked Bobby. I says and anyone listening to the show, I've been banging on about Bobby playing Uncharted because I keep saying God of War's the best Sony game, and it may rightfully so be. But I said to you, until you beat Uncharted or at least play a good portion of it, I'm not going to take your opinion.
It's changed. It's played, and then it's played a good bit, and then it was beat, and then now it's just played half.
I think there should be. I think once you understand the gameplay loop, maybe, because I was thinking this earlier, like what defines a game played. So you with Breath of the Wild, Bobby ended up downloading the 4K PC version that I helped him with because he was going to start playing it. Because when he did play it on Switch, all he ever done was gone at the front and picked up a stick, and that was it over. So lo and behold, he played it now on PC at 60 FPS. He always blamed the frames as why he didn't continue with it. 60 FPS, he picks up the stick again. And I was like, well, look, until you played Breath of the Wild to the start where you get past the beginner area and you get the abilities, I don't think you can say it's a shit game until you kind of get those, because then you kind of get the loop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what happened with Breath of the Wild?
I just have my back there. Like, it's just been one of them weeks. I got the axe, I got a bow and arrow and stuff, and then I met the old Santa Man.
Santa Man.
And then after I done some sort of tower thing.
Oh yeah.
First
Kind of
one,
the Far
so I done
Cry
that.
towers.
Yeah, and then went down, and he was there, and he's glided in or something. He's like, "Oh, you want this glider?" And then he says, "Go fetch some relic or something nearby."
Yeah, there's like 4 wee relics you go. So what you have is you have like shrines dropped around the beginner map, and they're actually dropped throughout the world. And in the shrines, there's kind of like puzzles, which is the whole thing of Zelda. I don't know how much you thought about this, but see what's really cool about the puzzles? You can solve them in ways that you wouldn't expect, because the world reacts to lots of different abilities and things. So you may actually solve a puzzle that was totally not intended. So there's a lot of things cool like that. I think you'll like Zelda, honestly.
Yeah, so you can solve it kind of. You just figure out your own way, and it might not be completely different from what you done.
Aye, and you're like, what the fuck? It shouldn't even really work this way, but you've just done it. But Zelda, like, because Zelda's Breath of the Wild is so different than the other ones. So I think you'll personally love Link's Awakening because you like Pokemon and just the style of that game and the way it is. If you like Pokemon, you'll like it. You just
It looks quite good. It looks like something that would pop on the OLED though. The colors very colorful.
Right, talk to me about this fucking OLED, you.
It's been haunting me all week. I think I texted you earlier. Actually, just saying it's been fucking haunting me, like in my basket.
Why?
And I just don't know what to do. I've keep talking myself into it and then talking myself out of it. And then I went and bought Metroid Dread and Pokemon Chain and Pearl. And I haven't played them yet because I keep telling myself, no, I'll wait because I'm going to get an OLED and play it on the OLED.
See, the problem is I talk myself out of it and then a day later just buy it. Just, I can't even.
I was going to do it. I was like, the day's the day. I'm just going to go after the doggy man, sorts out the dog, and just go and get it. And then by that time, it was too late.
So I asked you, what's stopping you?
The only thing stopped me really is the fact that I'm not too big on the IP Nintendo, but I think maybe that's where I've been kind of taking it all wrong. Because see, the likes of that wee game you sent into the chat earlier, it looks quite cool. I think it's them kind of games that I need to be focusing on more.
Yeah, so I sent in it's Square Enix,
Couple of Lamb and stuff like that. That kind of stuff.
Yep,
It's perfect for the Switch.
Mate, see, to be fair, like that's what I'm saying. I'm playing games that I probably wouldn't play on a PlayStation because it's effort. Like I said, it feels an effort, but then playing stuff on the TV is also an effort. But you just kind of pick, with a lot of games that I'm playing at the moment, just kind of pick up and play. So that one there's a visual novel. It's like I forget the name of it. It's like fucking Paranorma Vision or something it's called, but visual novel. It's supposed to be really good. And then that's how I played Danganronpa on the Vita, and I loved it. It was actually a phenomenal game. So, but you haven't really tried. Like, there's a lot of Nintendo IP you haven't tried.
I haven't tried Metroid before, but that's why I got Dread.
You'll like
it looks quite cool.
think you'll 100% like Metroid. It's fucking. I'll get into that in a second. Holy fuck.
Zelda, Breath of the Wild's the only one I've ever tried.
Which is completely different. Like, do you have 3D Zeldas, which are different even than Breath of the Wild, and then you have the 2D Zeldas, which are different again. So, and they're on
What else?
back and back.
Pokemon. Played a lot. I've always played Pokemon. Played right up until I think it was Black and White 2.
Yep.
Then I kind of fell off completely.
What about Smash Brothers?
I tried it, but I tried it after I was playing Multiverses,
Right.
and I felt that Multiverses played better.
Probably does. It's better network, I think, online. Like,
Yeah, so that kind of, and then I was like, nah, that's not for me. I'll just stick with Multiverses.
and then you have.
I've got Smash Bros. I've actually got it on the wee floppy disk thing.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
But then you've also like Splatoon's great. People love that. I wouldn't play too much of it, but I have it. And then you've got IP wise. I know you're saying you didn't like Odyssey, but Odyssey to
2D
me,
Mario for me would be the one.
I think you'd like Super Mario Galaxy, because it's very
It's
fucking
3D
hard.
though.
But it's hard. It's not like this. It's not like open 3D. It's different, but it's very hard. I actually like that where it's kind of your mind's fixated the whole time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't even buy that anymore though.
Get it on disc. And you get Galaxy
Can
as
you
well. Mal-
Did that come out in
Galaxies.
disc?
Yeah, came out. You can get it on eBay and all. Be fine.
Did it?
So I was playing Metroid Prime, which is phenomenal. So I ended up getting the OLED last Friday now, and I maybe put it like half an hour of Metroid Prime. Mate, see this Switch? I have not wanted to even turn on my PlayStation. I put it on, then just turn it off again. I'm just like, I can't even bother. It's taking over my life right now, and it's great because I'm just like, we pick up and play, mate. But Metroid Prime is fucking 10 out of 10, and this is what I mean, because these types of games. Earlier in the week, and you didn't take too well this, I says, I think Nintendo have better gameplay games than Sony. And you were
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
What? How could it be?
No way.
But what I mean is, gameplay games, take out the story from God of War. Is it still a good game? Yeah. Take out the gameplay from Uncharted. It's still
Yes.
a good game. Yeah. I'm saying yeah. But would I rather Metroid Dread in terms of gameplay than any of them? Absolutely. Would I rather Zelda than any of them? Absolutely. Pokemon, I need to get back into that. But there's
We've
like
actually been talking about a wee bit about Pokemon, about Arceus, which is completely different from the the mainline ones.
I played Arceus.
But how long did you play it for? Because I can remember this. You went down to Tesco's, you got it, and I don't think you played it too long. You were like, nah, no, this isn't for me.
I think I was trying to find that gameplay loop, and sometimes this happens to me. If I need to play a game to actually understand what is the loop, and it's kind of, this sounds very silly, but when you think like, what is the loop Arceus? Is it me just going out and catching a Pokemon and going back and just capturing a Pokemon, or is there, the loop of obviously Let's Go is you traverse this land, get stronger, do the gyms, capture Pokemon, continue on, and then obviously finish the game. With Arceus, it's a bit different. I don't know. I think it's just filling the Pokedex. So I think I only put in like 2 hours, and I was kind of like, I'm not feeling it. And the
Yeah.
graphics were a bit fucking ropey, to be honest with you.
Ropey.
They are very ropey, like. But
That's something like like a better Switch, like that run at 60 would probably be class. Probably
Yeah.
look stunning because the world itself and the artwork and all is really always quite good on Pokemon games.
so I've been playing Let's Go. I started that again, and I named the first guy you meet. I was like, oh, that's Gary. I'll be Ash, and this is Gary. And then it turns out that's not even fucking Gary. There's another Gary. You meet him later on. I was like, what the fuck's happening here? So they've
Yeah.
changed it. But then I'm trying to figure out the look.
Everybody's super sensitive now. Do you know like all the rivals now are like your best friend?
I was like, be a wee cunt to me. Come on.
Yeah.
Spit in
Whereas
the
like
face.
in the original Red and Blue, he was a cock.
He was a cock.
And then I think in Gold and Silver, there was a wee guy. He was at the window when you were kind of choosing your Pokemon. And then by the time you go and reach some egg
It
for
blows up.
the professor, come back, he ends up breaking in and stealing one of the Pokemon. So
Aye,
he was
bastard.
he was a dick too.
Yeah.
And then they just changed everybody, your best mate. Oh, well done. Oh, you
It's
beat me.
it's very kiddish now, which is my problem. Like petting the Pokemon and all that. I'm like, fuck off. I don't want to fucking pet
I
Pikachu.
don't like that. There's like fashion shows and all for your Pokemon and stuff, and a lot of them now.
No,
I have no interest in that. Never have.
yeah, I don't like that shit. But so I was kind of like thinking, and this is what I mean by loop. I'm like, okay, obviously I know the game. I know what you have to do, but because there's no combat when you're capturing Pokemon, do I capture one Pokemon and then don't capture
is?
it again? No, I know, but I'm saying when you're capturing,
okay.
there's no combat.
Oh, there is.
When you capture a Pokemon, you don't fight it.
You do in Arceus?
Not in Arceus. I'm talking about Let's Go, you header.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes.
So in Let's Go, I was
Yeah.
playing
So
that.
it's a mixture of Pokemon Go. They've added that in to kind
Yes.
of
Yeah.
appeal to the kids.
So I'm on my way to
My kids
Misty,
love
right? Yeah, I'm on my way to Misty. But what I was thinking was, in Pokemon Let's Go, do I just capture one Pokemon and move on and then to the next type? But it's like, no, you can chain capture them to get shinies. And I was like, oh, all right, okay, it's a bit fucking tedious. Just fucking, I'll be there for
That's
an hour.
what my mate Mark done. He done it in the lead up to Mewtwo as well. At the end, he went out and captured like a shit ton in a row of the same, because you had to it's either the same type or the same Pokemon.
Right.
You have to keep capturing in a row. So like, say you're at a place where loads of Pidgeys spawn. If you just capture like a really high amount of Pidgeys or a high amount of the same type of Pokemon, like Flying or Bug or things like that, that brings up your streak.
Right.
And once you get high enough, it increases your chance of getting the shiny. So he done that and got the shiny Mewtwo.
So this is what I noticed, and I was kind of like, that's not fun to me.
No.
I just want, you know what I mean? It's not. So I don't know if Pokemon's something that's just not for me anymore. But I'm gonna try and beat Let's Go. So I have that going, but my main one's Metroid Prime. So see with Metroid Prime, you'd see in terms of exploration, it's kind of hard to explain, but you're just looking at the map and you're just like, I can't go here, I can't go here. You progress a bit on, you're like, I got this unlocked, now where do I go? And there's this whole kind of world, and you're like going and looking for where you haven't been, and then you traverse the way back, and then it just kind of sprawls out. I actually think this is why I like Dark Souls and shit, because it
Is
is
it
in
similar?
itself.
Is it like an open world but linear at the same time, or and then you obviously open bits up the more the different stuff you get?
So I'll give you a plan, right? You have a map, and in this map, you can only access one area mainly at the start, or you go through and you can access little areas, and then there's dead ends. Yeah, I haven't got this, I can't open that door yet. And then you go and you get an unlock, and you're thinking, hear that door back there? I can open it. And when you open that, it opens to a new area. And then it kind of goes from that and just starts spiraling out. But in
Right,
terms of
okay.
your abilities and your skills, it's so fun to play, mate. Like, they really don't make games like this anymore. Metroid Dread does it really well, whereas there's a lot of backtracking when Metroid Prime. Metroid Dread doesn't have as much backtracking because when you progress through the game, it blocks off wee bits, so you're not having to do much backtracking. You'll know what I mean when you play it, but Metroid Dread is just kind of more fast paced. But just
Yeah.
Metroidvanias in general, I fucking love them, and I think that's why I really liked Dark Souls 1 rather than Elden Ring of things, whereas Dark Souls 1 is in itself a lot more like a Metroidvania compared to Dark Souls 2 and 3. So, been playing that. What else have you been playing? What else did you try?
Tried Uncharted 4,
Right.
and I got up to the bit where he just kind of
Whoa,
He's in his house.
whoa. Right, so you stuck it on.
yeah.
First scene, you're on the boat with your brother Sam.
Mm-hmm.
You probably were thinking, right, don't have a clue what's happening here, which is fine because this is what Uncharted does. It starts off in the future and then goes
I
in
would
the
say,
past.
yeah, that's towards like the end of the game. Then you're back at that bit, sort of kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
kind of what I'm gathering.
So you don't like Nathan Drake, is what you said?
Not right now, no.
No, it's all right. By the way,
But then, mate, obviously, if I played the first 3 games, I would have that connection to him. I got in before with kind of no background history. I don't know it's a separate kind of story, but you still have like a background to him.
Mm-hmm. But you like
Whereas I
Chloe
don't.
Fraser,
Love her.
and she's in Uncharted 2.
The second one.
Yeah, she's in Uncharted 2. But it's like, I would say, okay, it'd be like trying to jump into The Last of Us 2 and Joel. You see Joel, you're probably like, I don't really care. Whereas when but you'll still like him over the course of the game, I think. I just
Yeah.
really want you to beat it just to hear your real take.
I will beat it. Like I will do it this year.
And you were like, oh, we'll play The Last Legacy, so it's gonna be this whatever. And I'm like, it's not the same. It's not comparable. Neil Druckmann did this one. In terms of 4, he didn't do Lost Legacy, I don't think.
Yeah.
So you're kind of missing out. You just need to blast that. So what way are you going to target these games? Because if you're going to do what you're doing, you're probably not going to play anything. So what's your plan here?
I don't know.
Right, what are you in the mood
I
for?
don't. See, I don't know. See, the thing is, because we've had quite a lot of games come out recently, kind of quite fast paced, so that I've always had something new and fresh to play. And it's this time now where I don't have anything new. Just kind of going dipping into the backlog, and you know what way it is going into the backlog. You just don't know what to play.
Follow your gut.
So-
like you put on Final Fantasy 7, played it for half an hour and says, I haven't got a clue what's going on.
It's just all over the place. The combat, I actually really like the combat because you've got kind of normal combat, just hitting square to use your sword or whatever, and then you've got you press R2 and that gives you like spells and things like that. So it's kind of turn basey.
Yeah.
Which
I just think it's a
I love
really
the
bad
combat.
one to jump in on, personally.
I was going to do the original one, but then I looked at it and I was just like, I honestly don't think I could do that there. It looks so bad.
I think it would have been, you should have done X,
That
personally.
one that you sent through earlier, the Get Mobile one, is that one?
Yeah, Ever Crisis.
That looks phenomenal.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know what's happening with that.
Because
Because it's doing
it's
all of
kind
them.
of, it is obviously, it's not top end graphics, but the graphics that it is really nice, the art style. And it's
Yeah.
it looks real crisp.
Don't know
Something
when
like
that's
that
coming out.
there.
They're doing like
I could
loads of
play.
shit with that. Yeah, that's all I wanted. I didn't really want them to do the full remake like they did. I would have rathered they just kind of updated a bit because Kieran loves remake. I was quite tepid on it. I was like, it's all right, but it's not the same quality because.
Yeah.
But with Fantasy X, I think if you're gonna play a Final Fantasy game, that's a good jumping off part because if you do become obsessed with that, you might do what you did with God of War and then go, okay, well I need to play all the rest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so you've done that. I just think you'd need to find out what you're in the mood for because if you're thinking I want to play a 40-hour RPG, then that's fine. But if you're thinking, I don't really want to commit to something, then you're starting in fucking Fantasy 7 Remake.
I actually think I'm in a bit of a mood for South Park.
South Park.
Mm-hmm.
Stick
You
of
ever play
Truth or
anything?
Fractured But Whole?
I've beat the Stick of Truth before. I haven't actually beat Fractured Butthole yet.
So what I would say to you there is they're on Switch. And it wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, yes, they're probably going to be 30
The-
FPS.
the-
You'll not care.
It's like you're watching an episode when you're playing. Have you ever played them?
Yeah. But see RPGs
Phenomenal.
on the Switch, I just could not be fucked sitting in front of my TV playing a 40-hour RPG turn-based.
Yeah.
But I think I actually have Fractured But Whole on my Switch. I bought it.
I have it on the PlayStation, Stick of Truth, because I've seen them. I was looking through my library, actually have them installed, and was like, do you know what? That'd be actually really good just to sit and play because it's just simple. It's turn-based and it's funny as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's fucking fantastic.
See, what I think you should do is kind of what I'm doing, where it's one RPG, slower pace, and then your kind of gameplay game. Because I was looking at that Dead Cells, which got fucking mad reviews, and I was like, I actually have Dead Cells, and it is a good game, but it's hard. But do you know what I mean? It's those gameplay loops, just getting in the getting in the kind of the rhythm of it. So I bought a Octopath Traveler 4 or 2. Playing that, it's very good. But the way Octopath works is every kind of new character you meet has a story. So you play chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So you maybe like someone's story and then you play another characters and you don't really like their story. So I'm kind of like, it's a big commitment. I'm just so into Metroid. I think after we even beat Metroid Prime, I'm going to play Metroid Fusion and just go through all them. Do what I did with Devil May Cry and just fucking go balls
Do
deep.
you not need the family thing for that?
I'll bet. I'll bet.
Fucking 80 quid though.
Is it 80 quid?
Yeah.
Fuck off, it's not 80 quid.
It's 80 quid and there's no monthly thing for it.
The family pass?
Hmm?
Fuck way off, it's not 80 quid. Fuck, I'm
It's
not
80 quid, mate. I swear to God, it's 80 quid.
Jesus
And that
Christ.
unlocks, I guess, Game Boy Advance, 64, and Sega.
Can you bat in parts or something? Because I think there's Super Metroid, which is like voted the number one Metroid game. You can play that on just the SNES one, which is probably where I would do next. But I was actually thinking I would play Metroid Dread again. I fucking loved it. Or even Link's Awakening.
No, you'll definitely need the family plan for that.
Right. So of that,
Sucks.
I don't know whether to continue with that, continue with Pokemon. I'm just kind of like, well, what am I actually enjoying? So this is what I mean. Should you just play what you enjoy at the moment in time, or should you let yourself commit to something to enjoy it? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you don't enjoy it until you're a bit deeper in. Because at the moment, Pokemon's throwing a lot of fucking, like, everyone you talk to is telling you, like, shit about tutorials almost. Do you know what I mean? Whereas, when it progresses a bit more, it's kind of a bit more of a world that you want to kind of run about it.
It is good, like, it is good. It's for nostalgia as reasons as well. Like, I just wish it wasn't as Pokemon Go-y.
Yeah. I think you should best an OLED, by the way. Honestly. I think, for me anyway, I'm fucking loving it. I think it's a great purchase.
I was all for it today. I'm just hoping, like, tomorrow I don't wake up and I'm not all for it.
If you
If you know what I
said
mean.
now, here's your VR, or now here's your Switch, which one you throwing away? I'd fucking put that VR down the road.
Oh, I know you would.
Because I've tried Moss, and I know Kieran's very high on it, and I was like, yeah, it's okay, but I'm not in the mood for VR. And it always comes back to effort. I admit it's just an effort to wear the fucking thing.
It's still effort, even though it's one cable compared to the original PSVR. It's still effort to actually stick it on, stick it on your head.
I mean, honestly, like I got them glasses as well. I'm like, it's good.
The glasses didn't work for me. They were too close
They're
to
gonna
the screen.
scratch.
They were
They're
hitting
gonna
the screen.
scratch it.
I've heard a lot of that there. People saying the scratch the screen, and then it was letting in light as well. For me, anyway, with the glasses on, so I was like, I can't do it.
don't know what to think about the VR now. Like I was high on it and stuff, but then it's kind of like after I beat Resi, I have nothing. Like I'm kind of like I don't feel like jumping on to fart about on one of the wee VR games. Do you know what I mean? And it's a fucking dear piece of kit. But I may as well
Yeah.
just keep. I'm at the end of the day, I'm going to try and keep all my hardware anyway. So
It's not costing you. I'm keep it because you never know when something is going to come out that you're like, oh fuck, I can actually play that because I've got the hardware sitting there.
yeah, and the big thing is, see with the Steam Deck, mate. Like I wouldn't be interested to play on a non. I'm not even joking. Like see the OLED, it actually will. It makes me want to play the Switch. Logan's Switch was sitting there, and I just wouldn't play it.
If Steam Deck 2 comes out with no LED and better battery, I'm all over it like
I would buy it if it was an OLED, but that's the problem.
instantly.
Fucking thing. So other than that, anything else?
No.
The things I want to talk about are actually in the news as well. Like there's kind of topics that's in the news that I've been playing or watching that I want to talk to you about anyway. So other than that, what we'll do is we'll move into the news and rumors. Item 1, Starfield release date is revealed. Bethesda's delayed Starfield once again as the game will now launch in September for PC and Xbox Series X and S. There will also be a Starfield Direct on June 11th, right after the Xbox Game Showcase. In a new official launch date announcement trailer, Bethesda's Todd Hard confirmed that the highly anticipated game will release this year. We have poured ourselves into this game, and even I'm surprised how much we can pour. It is large. We're playing the game all the time, he explained. Well, we're fucking up playing the game anyway. Disappointed? June was what we kind of expected.
No, I'm not disappointed at all. I'm not hyped for this.
You're not hyped at all. No Man's Sky.
No.
But
It's one of them. I've said before, like I'm not interested in space stuff unless it's Star Wars. I'm going to play it because I do like Fallout and Skyrim. I'll give it a go and see if it hooks me. And I know I'll probably have to play it for longer than fucking an hour to see about that hook. But I'm not excited for it because you've also got Spider-Man coming out. What's next in that kind of area?
Yeah.
And it launched in September time. So
Did I? I think it was like September 9th or 11th.
yeah, so it could be going head to head against Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 2 wins every day of the week for me.
What's the correlation between looking at a game and saying, I like the look of it versus enjoying the game? Like, have you ever looked at a game and said, I don't like the look of it, but like the game?
Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that.
I looked at it and I was like, I seen all the hype about it. I was like, what the fuck is that shit?
Some
And I played it. It's
gameplay.
phenomenal.
So I don't know. Like I think with me, sometimes I'm trying to think. Like you know what I say to you all the time. Oh, Bobby doesn't fucking. You have so much gaps. Like I'll literally play everything if it's rated well. And this is maybe where I'm a bit of a sheep going. I'll only play good rated things because half the things that I play that are rated good are shite in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I'll play stuff that I just know I don't like the look of, but still play it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like the look of it. So this, I'll be honest, I don't really like the look of it. It looks like No Man's Sky kind of shit. The way he's kind of, was he not like extracting shit, minerals and stuff?
Minerals and things like that there. So obviously you do that there, maybe to upgrade your ship or guns and things like that. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, and I fucking hated the look of Fallout. I thought it was drab as fuck. And I remember being like, I don't like the look of this, and hated the game, but then love Skyrim. It's kind of weird. You'd think I would have liked Fallout, you know what I mean?
I love both.
So, why do you think it's delayed? Just polish?
I would say polish. I think they're going to try and make this as completely bug free as possible
Fucking hell.
because it's been hyped so much. Like I think it's going to be one that they want to get right from day one. Now, obviously, we'll still get the odd bugs or whatever. That's kind of expected, but as long as it's nothing game breaking.
Is it, I know it's expected, but do you think it's okay, the amount of bugs these guys have?
They're big games. That's the problem.
So what would they be comparable to?
On a scale, I don't know, because like the likes of Fallout and all and Skyrim, like they're fucking huge.
Well, and especially when you think for their time, like Skyrim back in the
Yeah,
day.
like massive, and there's so much to do in them. Like you're talking hundreds and hundreds of hours of content. Like
See, I was going to say Breath of the Wild, but Breath of the Wild's just in kind of scale of go anywhere. But in terms of,
yeah,
that was a game that was, like, I'll be honest, I'll just say
Like,
polished as
there's
fuck.
tons of There's
Scale.
tons of side quests
Oh. Uh-huh.
everywhere. Like there's always you go into somewhere and someone will have a quest for you, no matter how small or big it'll be. So there is a lot of work put into it, like, and it's just so big. So I think bugs are expected.
Yeah, and there's made that
100%.
Skyrim 3 was broke for me on PS3. Like until it was passed, there was like a part where you just wouldn't get through.
Yeah.
But that game was phenomenal. I hope like this is the thing. Obviously, me and you're not hyped for it, but that's probably the way to be. Like you see, if we're not hyped for it, and then it becomes this fucking thing that is phenomenal. That's the
I
that's
hope
what
it
you
is.
want.
I think it will be. I think it'll be great. And I'm hoping when I do play it, it does hook me. So there is, obviously, we both said recently that we don't like playing big long games anymore because we just don't have the time for it or the effort. But I'm hoping this kind of gets me in.
Do you not feel like you're chasing kind of like what you had in your childhood of kind of like experiencing something new for the first time? Like I don't know about you. We see when
Fallout 3 was a big one for me when I first played it because I think I've said this before, but it was a game that our mum got me for my birthday. I looked at it. You know, back in the day, you just kind of looked at the back of the thing. Oh, I don't know if I like a look at that there. So I actually went to trade it back in to HMV where she got it because she bought me the receipt. She didn't have a clue, like she just bought me it. And there was nothing else that looked good. So I just brought it home, started playing it, and fucking fell in love.
Man, I told you about me. That was the what I got with I bought an extra Xbox and I got that in Fable 2. Fable 2 was the one that blew my mind actually. But I remember the reviews and everyone was going nuts about it. I just didn't attract me. What about Skyrim? When you played Skyrim, did it kind of blow you away there?
Not straight away, no.
I mean, see Skyrim straight away. I was like, whoa. Soon you go up that mountain with the dragon and all.
Aye.
And then you go to the underwater section where it's like all, or it's in a cave. And it's all like kind of fucking like all neon, not neon lights, but there's kind of all like foresty lights kind of shit and all. Do you know what I'm on about? It's underground. It's like blue tints and all. It looks fucking phenomenal graphically.
I can't remember.
So this is where I would say is the problem now is in terms of games, everything's been thought out. There's no innovation anymore. Do you agree with that? Or do you think that's kind of...
I think the innovation isn't going as fast as it did back in the day.
And that's what I mean. In terms of game design, what can you innovate on? Because that's where Breath of the Wild did so well because it innovated on open world and then
so different.
Elden Ring again.
Yeah.
Kind of took Breath of the Wild, to be fair, and I feel like it just tried to replicate a part of what it had where it was like, we're not hand holding. Because it is very much Breath of the Wild. You have 4 things to attack or kind of do, and that's it. You can go do them right away. The same kind of thing with Elden Ring premise, but
yeah,
where's the next innovation? And
what are we going to get next? It's going to be like, holy shit, I didn't see this coming, or I've never played anything like this before in my life.
And the problem I think is it's not in the AAA space anymore. It's in the indies.
No, yeah, where they can be a bit more experimental.
Yeah, like the next Metroid, like Metroid's always going to be the same kind of concept. Do you know what I mean? But then you have a game like Vampire Survivors, which
I was just thinking about that. I was just going like, it's so simple, but it's phenomenal.
Cult of the Lamb's a pretty cool premise, isn't it?
Cult of the Lamb mixes. So you didn't really play it, did you?
No, I hadn't even played it. I will play it on the Switch.
You should get it on the Switch because it's so good. It takes a while. I was going to say about 2 hours maybe once you can get into it and start actually building your base a wee bit more better, a wee bit more in depth. So you're going out and doing your runs, and you're getting more supplies to bring back, and kind of build up your base and get your followers. You can. There's I'm trying to think. So there's 4 kind of biomes if you want to call them.
Yeah.
And you have to beat each one 4 times to face the main boss of that biome.
Yep.
So you're doing all them runs. Once you do that, there it unlocks the next one, etc., etc. While you're doing that, there you get more followers, bringing them all in. There's so much you can build. Toilets, fucking, you have to cook for them. You have to set up farms. You can have prisons. People will like kind of revolt against your cult, and you can just put them in prison and kind of rehabilitate them. And then you have sermons and stuff that you do you can do them once a day. Kind of builds up your faith higher so that nobody has a chance of like revolting and stuff. It's fucking class, and the gameplay's so good. The fighting and all is so simple. It's just one button and then you're dodging. But then all the kind of mechanics or boons, as you would call them, like in Hades, you would get, are class, and they make every run slightly different.
So I think, is it a very gameplay? It's a gameplay heavy game, and obviously there's no story.
There's a bit of a story, but it's kind of in the background. You pretty much, well, if you play at the start of it, you die, and this god person resurrects you, and you're kind of, that's what your cult is based out of. Like he's the leader, but you're the leader, but he's like the god, and you're going through, and you have to kill all these old gods for him so that he can be freed. and that's all I'll tell you.
So this is where I'm maybe kind of getting a switch in mindset here, using the wee term here. I used to always play games, go, oh, give me story, give me story. But see, even with open world games, I'm noticing, see if I'm not, my mind's not occupied when I'm playing it, starts to wander and get bored. So this is where I'm struggling with open world games, where you're kind of, and this maybe where it goes to Elden Ring, a lot of space of emptiness, where I'm just like, do you know what, I'm bored right now. Whereas when you're playing Dark Souls 1, you're traversing through that place, you're literally going, fuck, I can die any second here, something might pop out. So your mind's completely fixated. You know, you can't, you doesn't wander, and that's what I find with Metroid Prime. And I'm thinking, is that like a, when it comes to all these new games and things, everything's trying to be more kind of broad and open. It's just getting more boring for me. Whereas all these indie games, Hades and things, it's just gameplay oriented. It's just fucking, you're completely fixated. AOE, by the time you look, you're like, fuck you, it's been 40 minutes.
I know.
You don't have time to think, I'm getting bored.
We had a Belter game there the other night.
No, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
Unreal. I haven't mentioned it once.
You fucking just mentioned it.
I just mentioned it there now, but it was fucking incredible game. So it was. Me, him, and Tim and Ryan. Phenomenal. Best game. It was 2.5 hours, one game.
Jesus Christ.
And me and Tim hammered them.
Lovely. Well, moving back on to Starfield, not AOE, for fuck's sake. You're banned.
You brought it up.
If Starfield does something new and interesting, I'll be down for it. Like, but if it is just an open world game like Bethesda have done many times, I'm kind of like, whatever.
Depends what the worlds are like, you know, that you go to. Obviously, there's a lot of like procedurally generated worlds and stuff, but it just depends what they look like, what they're like, if you know what I mean, the exploration of it.
Yeah, like No Man's Sky is supposed to be phenomenal, like in terms of the gameplay systems and shit. So hopefully,
there's
like
no story there, isn't there? Not?
Yeah, so this might, like, I'm kind of like, I'm excited for it. If you said here it's coming out next week, I'd probably be like, oh, cool, but it wouldn't be like jumping of joy. Where obviously now Spider-Man's announced for next week, I'd be like, fucking cancel everything.
Yeah.
Talking about games that are not coming out and delayed anyway, or not coming out as soon as we like, Suicide Squad has been delayed. So according to a report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, Warner Brothers has delayed the game from its 26th of May release date. This comes after fan backlash from the gameplay shown in Sony's most recent state of play. However, as Schreier noted, delays like this are mainly for polish rather than overhauling the gameplay elements fans weren't fond of in last month's reveal. For what it's worth, a delay like this is mainly for polish, not to overhaul the core gameplay that caused the backlash. Suicide Squad started off as a game as a service and will remain one, short of a complete reboot, which will require a much longer delay. What's your thoughts on this? I'm quite surprised.
So am I. I thought like it was locked and loaded, ready to go for me.
What it shows me is maybe a bit of unconfidence. Kind of, it's a bit making me kind of go, wait, what? This game, 2015 Arkham Knight, 8 years, and they're delaying it again. Like, what the fuck's the problems here? Like, how ambitious? It's not that ambitious. You know what I mean? From the looks of things.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the obviously, I don't think they're going to sit and go, well, we'll need to change up the gameplay. They can't. Do you know what I mean? It's so set in stone at this stage.
Yeah. So, if anything, it will just be polish,
which is good. Which is good. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
You'd rather come out and be running smooth, 60 FPS, no bugs.
And we liked the gameplay. Like, well, you loved it. You were like, kind of like, this is thing, and I was like, it looks
very
okay.
much. Yeah, it's very much something like I'll get stuck into, like 100%.
Like, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because it's Rocksteady, but
yeah,
at the same time, I just even hear them delay it, I'm kind of like, well, fuck me, like 8 years. Come on, what the fuck's happening here? There's obviously been stop starts. It's not been in development for 8 years, so they're having some sort of trouble. They must have been having some sort of trouble over the
amount of delays like we get now is unbelievable. But I think it's a good thing because I think everybody's scared of Cyberpunk. What happened to it?
Fucking hell, that was a nightmare, mate. That was actually a mess.
See the amount of games. I know obviously we had COVID and stuff in between that was just cancelled because just for polish.
Should have gone to Sky. Remember that as well.
Delayed. Yeah, it came out and I was actually really excited for it when it was first coming out because I was like, I can just travel to all these planets everywhere and do so much stuff, and it wasn't. I wasn't what it was.
Yeah, the whole multiplayer thing is like you can meet someone up. You'll never will meet someone, but you can. Then someone met each other. Same area.
It's so massive and all, and you're like.
So with Suicide Squad, that's delayed 6 months. What's that like up to November?
December time.
That makes it more sense. And to hear like Gotham Knights has been worked on. Digital Foundry did a new video, or it's all been patched and all. It's not locked 30 from what I hear.
I was hoping when I seen that headline text, I was like, hopefully that's 60, but it's not. It's just a smooth 30.
I hope they just see. A part of me's broken me because I loved the Batman games, and it's like I would have just liked something a bit more kind of focused like that. But if this is fun to play, the only thing is you have to play. You can play it. Does it have AI or is it all
Yeah.
online? Has
No,
AI?
say yeah. Yeah. I think you would like it. I think you would like the Arkham games. You would like it. Like I liked what I played of it, and I should have bought it. I shouldn't have listened to you. I should have just bought it the other week when
What?
I was going to buy it. All right, taxi. I was like, it's only 22.99 or something on
I did say
PlayStation.
bad. You goes, I'd rather buy the Callisto
No.
Protocol.
No, that was about Ragnarok.
Oh, you should have bought. I would have jumped on it.
I should have bought it. It was only 22.99. That was for the £80 version.
What's it now?
£80.
Are you sure?
Checked.
I'm gonna check it, and if it
Because
is,
I
that
seen
means you're
that. And
buying
it's
it.
like,
Right there. Then I'm gonna check it. If it's 22 quid, you're gonna buy it right now.
oh, would yeah.
Let's have a look.
That's what I actually went on to see it because it was like, fuck it. I could probably deal with it because it was quite good.
Am I getting Gotham Knights? Let's have a look. By me and Bobby Game Share. Gotham Knights.
Deluxe version.
Yeah, there you are. 22.99, Bobby.
Is it?
No, it's 80 quid.
Next, it'll go on sale again. Next time it does, I'm gonna get it.
You're fucking here. You've me rinsed these games. I'm getting them all. I'm still waiting on you to pull out your trunks. I thought you'd buy loads.
Did?
What?
But Hogwarts.
Fucking Hogwarts. You're gonna...
But I bought After the Fall. I bought Kayak, your first VR game. That's that so far.
Oh.
But you've bought games that I'm not going to play as well.
So that's the thing. It's like, I bought Destiny. It was 60 quid.
Like, what
Yeah, rest in
I'm
peace.
probably not going to play. I'm probably not going to play VR, to be honest.
Yeah, I know you won't.
So I'm not.
I know
I
you
shouldn't have
won't.
opened it.
Sure, you can still return it. Why didn't you?
I couldn't be arsed putting it all back in the box and all. It was like all just neatly set up in my gaming area. So I was like, oh, fucking stay there.
What about Switchback? You interested in that? Well, here, we'll hold that.
We'll wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Item 3. Sony claims buggy COD. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Sony claims one way Microsoft could circumvent its obligations to release Call of Duty on PlayStation is to make the Call of Duty games buggy on PlayStation consoles, swiftly detecting any diversions from and ensuring compliance with a commitment as to a technical or graphical quality would be challenging, said Sony. For example, Microsoft might release a PlayStation version of Call of Duty where bugs and errors emerge only on the game's final level or after later updates. Conspiracy theory there, isn't it?
It's fucking mad, isn't it? Do you know why? Because the stuff that they do. That's why they're scared of Microsoft doing it.
I would believe
I'm
it.
sure they did it with Callisto.
So what is this? You said this the other day and I wasn't too clued in. What did they do?
So Sony were very heavily involved in the development for Callisto.
Worked out well.
And they had the marketing rights and things like that, but the Xbox versions were missing the likes of ray tracing reflections and things like that there,
I heard this, yeah.
compared to PS5 and PC. So people were just putting one and one together, two and two together, and saying obviously they done that on purpose. Because why would the PC one and the PS5 have the ray tracing, but the Xbox version doesn't? It's more than capable of having it. I have to get past it. I think it's passed down now, like, but because that would put someone that has both consoles, they don't really care where they play, and here it runs better and looks better and has ray tracing on PS5. Well, you're going to go for the PS5 version, aren't you?
What percentage of people look into this though? Like there's obviously me and you and a very
Well, that's what. But there's quite a lot. Obviously, like we're in the minority, but we're like
there's
the
still
hardcore.
obviously a good
There's still obviously a good crowd that will do that. Like
Yeah.
we have all consoles, and if something runs better somewhere else, chances are we will buy it there instead. Apart from PC, 'cause PC sucks.
They fucking didn't care about this during the PS3 generation anyway, did they? Everything was
No.
gimped. That fucking cell architecture.
I don't think Microsoft would do this.
I think they're fucking Sony are gone mental. And I look, you always say, nah, I'm a pony. Do I love PlayStation? Yes. Do I love Xbox? Not really. Do I love some of their IP? Yeah. But it's like, it's just honestly, like, see, I have no allegiance to any of these major corporations. Like, they're all in it for themselves. Because, like, I think Kieran was the one who was like, why are they doing this or all this here? Like, why would they say that to try and. There was another thing that, which actually I'm going to bring it into now.
I was going to say bring number 7 then now.
So number 7, which was item 7, Jim Ryan only wants one thing, and it's disgusting. So the ongoing saga of the Microsoft Activision merger took another strange turn recently. So Activision claimed that PlayStation boss Jim Ryan said the following statement in a meeting in February: I don't want a new Call of Duty deal. I just want to block your merger. Does that make sense? Like,
Which
I don't.
is true.
Yeah, it's a company.
It is. That's exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, like
I said this. I think I said this week. So we were talking about it. I was like, PlayStation do not want a deal. They don't want a 10-year deal. They don't want a deal in parity. They just want to block it, which makes sense business wise. Of course, it does for them.
that's the problem. These billion-dollar businesses, they're all fucking pack of cunts.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
they're
Like,
just looking after themselves. They want to be number one. They want to be top dog. Because I think we were talking about this a wee bit in conversation during the week on the text. We're just saying, like, I think it was Kieran asked, like, will it make a big impact? Call of Duty being, on Game Pass, and it will. I think it will. Not as big as what people think, but if I'm going in and I'm just an average gamer and I'm going in and say to buy a console and I see Game Pass day one, Call of Duty, and that's kind of what I want to play, I'm going to get an Xbox.
tell you what, mate, Call of Duty or PlayStation might be in trouble in the future because there's my fucking daughter now. She's sitting going, get me an Xbox.
Yeah.
Logan Xbox. A lot of kids are Xbox. And know what it is? The parents are getting it for Game Pass. That's why I'm getting it. I'm not betting to buy them all the games, so I'll spam Game Pass. So in terms of the future, mate.
And the future for the younger generation's Xbox, like 100%.
And this is coming from a guy who's a PC, PlayStation, loves PlayStation, has an Xbox, Nintendo. I guess this is a problem that Sony are worrying about Call of Duty now. I'd be worrying about things in the future. Like, or maybe that makes sense actually what they're worrying about the whole merger. But
many consoles do you think it's COD sales for PlayStation?
I think
quite a lot.
It was mental, yeah.
Like it's going to be nuts. Like the majority of average gamers, say even just in our town, Cryin or maybe, if you ask what do you play PlayStation? What do you play on it? Call of Duty.
Warzone.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. So if you can get every single new Call of Duty, now Xbox have offered it for PS Plus, but PlayStation don't want that either.
Oh, they've actually said we'll put it on PS Plus.
Yeah, they've said that. They've got to put that in their agreement. No, PlayStation don't want that because they want people to buy it on their platform
To get the dollar. What's it they make?
Get the money.
They make like
they get 70-30 cut split
30%.
with so they get the 30%, or no,
Yeah, they won't get 70% of the game. Like,
yeah, but I think you sure? Hold on, because Xbox offered 80-20.
what do you mean?
Xbox offered a higher percentage.
No, so Sony only get like 20-30%.
Must be like 60-40 or something. But Xbox offered them a higher cut as well, and they still said no. Now they would still get that in microtransactions stuff. They'll still get that cut in that, but they don't. They just want to block it. Simple as that.
You have to understand, Sony is a Japanese company as well. They can, do you know what I mean? I don't know. They're obviously a lot different than the way Microsoft operate, but like, I like Xbox. Like that whole Xbox documentary and all. I
heard that the documentary was phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
like
really loved it.
I like to be honest, mate. Like, I do like it all, and I do like them as a company. They just need to have better games, in my opinion. Dude, that's the only thing they're lacking. If they had games like Sony, mate, that would be even better. They just need to start firing all cylinders. The only thing is, I would say about Sony worrying about Call of Duty, right? You need to make a competitor then. Instead of fucking worrying about it, kill the fucking game. And how do you do that? Get a fucking team on it. You have Bungie sitting there. Now, obviously, Bungie's, no matter what's going to be third party for their agreement.
Yeah.
But what do
you team up with EA, get Battlefield, make that a competitor?
Do you know
I know
what I mean?
obviously it is on Xbox as well, but make it, get the market rights for Battlefield, help them maybe, invest a wee bit into EA and Battlefield production like they have done with other games.
See, I think Battlefield's too far gone now, mate. Do you know what I mean? I think you need a new IP. Like I see back in the day, mate, with Titanfall, people thought COD Killer, this is it, COD's done. Even me, I had fucking like, I remember it was like you were running about the walls, and I was like, oh, this is natural evolution of where it's going to go now. And I played it, and I was like, this is the future. And then Modern War or the Advanced Warfare and on, you're like, Titanfall's got this, and then whimper, that was it. I think they need to stop worrying about it. The fucking thing, the merger's gonna happen. I think we're fucking pretty much everyone agrees on this.
Yeah,
put your pants up and fucking get a game that's gonna compete then on that level. Which studio would you trust apart from Bungie to actually start trying to get a game to compete in a multiplayer level?
PlayStation owned?
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's a hard one.
It is a hard one because they don't really have shooters. I know obviously Insomniac done Resistance.
Plus you have obviously Guerrilla.
They've done Killzone. So I
Could
don't know,
Gorilla
it's a
make a
tough one.
game to dethrone COD? And bear in mind, they had
Through-
SOCOM as well, which was huge back in the day. I never played it.
Did you ever play it? I remember having the wee headset now.
Oh, really? I mean, I never played it.
Yeah,
And MAG as
I loved
well,
it.
remember it? Massive
I
Action.
remember Mag. That was shit.
But I just think, I don't think. I don't
I think maybe somebody, maybe like say Gorilla, but with the backing of Bungie.
Yeah, like working in
You know,
partnership.
working with them and behind them, helping them kind of move things in the right direction.
So what will it need? What will be needed to dethrone COD as a shooter? And that's kind of the bigger question because mechanically, feels good.
COD, perfect.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Perfect.
I don't know how you improve on that. Like Destiny feels a lot different than COD. It's a different
Yeah.
type of feeling. I personally love arena shooters, but they're not going to come back. Like, did you ever play Doom 2016 online?
No.
Oh, phenomenal! I love them even on PC and things, Quake and shit. But I don't think there's any more iteration to be done in the FPS genre. Like, there's nothing else. Like, what else can you do?
No, not unless you change it up again. Something like what Titanfall done, change it up, but then that's already been done, so you need to do something different.
They've tried big maps of Battlefield. They've tried destructible maps of Battlefield. Levolution, they called it back in the day. Then they've had so like if you think about it, like the biggest kind of innovation in recent years has been Battle Royale. And look how well that done. They had obviously Fortnite spawned off the back of it, PUBG. So there's obviously something that we're just not thinking about that's out there.
Yeah.
Like imagine
100%.
fucking PlayStation made and owned Fortnite. Do you know what I mean?
I'd be mental.
Do you know what I mean? Like there is bound to be something that's going to be out there that's going to be phenomenal.
Fortnite started out as a failure.
Yeah.
See the
remember
world
that.
mode, they just didn't know what to do, and then it was PUBG kind of coming up in the ranks, and that it said
H1Z1,
H1Z1.
King of the Hill, wasn't it?
yeah, and then they decided fuck it, we'll try it, and then it's the biggest thing in the world. It's the biggest game in the world.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that in a bit anyway. But yeah, look, I'm just fucking so. I said every week, I'm fed up with this merger. Just make it happen so I can get my Diablo 4 on Game Pass. That's all I want. And
know.
here, are you going to go to
That's
KFC and get your wee?
I will. I'm going to go this week and get that double down burger because you'll get it too.
Yeah.
Should,
What is
as
a
long
double
as
down
it's-
burger? Talk to me.
I think it's 2 chicken burgers or the bun,
Right. I love
and then I think
KFC.
it's like bacon and hash brown stuff in the middle.
So you can get a shitty KFC and then you get unreal KFCs.
Yep, and the gravy can be different every time you go.
Oh, it's KFC so
Which
good.
is
man.
annoying. Sometimes it's like it's like diarrhea. It's like lumpy and not nice looking. It doesn't taste nice. And then sometimes it's too watery.
Do you drink it
Sometimes
after?
you go and it's
Take a
just right.
soup? Do you drink it after?
No.
I'm a cartman with a chicken skin. No, remember that? Moving on.
I will go. I'm hoping it wasn't specific on what platforms. I'm hoping it's all platforms.
She's trying to make me go to KFC tonight. I almost cracked.
Well, you should have went, get the double down, get us some early access.
See, mate, see the thing. See with this early access and shit. I always kind of avoided it. I was like, I don't feel the need. But now I'm almost like I'm gonna buy a game off a demo now, where as I probably would just bought the game without really playing it. And now actually talking about demos, a nice wee segue. Item 4, I was going to say resolution. Resident Evil 4 demo is now out. Announced during the Capcom Spotlight event, the Chainsaw demo is available starting today, March 9th, yesterday, or 2 days ago, sorry, and will allow players to play an early portion of the game where Leon enters the village. The demo will have no time limit and is available on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam. Ahead of the event, the developer released a new teaser website for Resident Evil 4 Remake, which contains riddles, puzzles, and a ton of backstory for the game. First thing I want to say here is, it's not on Xbox One at all, is it? Or is it just the demo? I seen a thing laughing at this, and I was like,
it rings a bell actually. Maybe it's not.
so it's coming out in PS4, but it's not coming out in Xbox One.
That was changed. Hold on, I'm gonna do a wee bit of research here. Let me check while there. So, you have played it.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts on it? Because I know I played it, and you kind of agree with me on something that you. didn't
Yeah,
agree
I
with
actually
me
want to talk
during
about
the
that first. So I was trying to get Bobby, after we played Dead Space, I was sending the Bobby to play RE2 Remake. And you had said about the movement being very shitty. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, you're fucking bonkers. It literally just plays like Dead Space. Now, that has almost ruined me because now when I'm playing it, it almost feels like there's a delay, but it's because they've obviously added more animations. So basically, the camera moves for a bit before the character does, isn't that right? And it just
Yeah.
does. It feels a bit weighty, but it doesn't feel very responsive.
I tried to play about with it and I just couldn't get it right. So that whole movement thing, that's aim acceleration.
Is it?
That's what that is, and it is in the settings, but I just couldn't. I tried to play
You
with
turn it
with
off.
You turn it off, and then it's just, even if you I turned it off and had the sensitivity up quite high, like near enough full, and it was still really slow and sluggish. So you need the aim acceleration, but it's just kind of getting that right. Which on a lot of games it fucks up. I think Deathloop was one I told you about, and you were like, the aiming's a wee bit off, the movement and stuff, and I says it's aim acceleration. Once you take that off, Deathloop's phenomenal.
So aim acceleration, is that not when you're aiming down sights and you start moving slowly and then it starts speeding up?
Yep.
Right. So mine's isn't even necessarily that. It's not even when I'm aiming, it's just walking. It does feel quite like fucking. It actually, know what it feels like? It feels like they've took the tank controls and they've kind of obviously made it a bit more modern.
So you can move like slightly to the left or right, and it might move you further than what you expected it to move and things like that.
Yeah, well, I'm not even getting that. It's like it's not moving as much as it's not moving. It's not kicking in yet. There's a bit of a delay on it almost.
Yeah,
What I
so you
remember
take
playing it there.
you'll need to take that off and then put your sensitivity right up so there is no delay. So the way the aim acceleration works is it'll, go gradually just speed up.
Do you know what it feels like? It's like playing Red Dead 2. Like that delay in because your animations. It's the animations that are doing this. Because they did it. I know it sounds silly, but with FIFA they brought in like this. I forget the name of it, but there's more animations to your character or your players, and it slowed everything down. Whereas I probably would prefer a tighter game. Like Dead Space is, you move, you can jostle your fucking stick, and he'll just kind of on the spot. There's none of that. It's kind of like he'll just take a step and shit, and I don't know. What was your thoughts on the demo? Now have you played Resident Evil 4 at all?
I can remember renting it on the GameCube.
Right. Where'd you rent it from? Crumble?
Come on, Video Shop.
I didn't even know they did GameCube games.
Yeah, I just remember it scaring me, the village. So I didn't play it.
I bought it in 2005. I played at Johnny's house. Lee, you remember from school, had brought it up on PlayStation. He was terrified of it. And I remember being like, oh God, this game looks fucking class. So we went to Lisburn, game in Lisburn. I believe we got that and something else, but we ended up buying that. I absolutely loved it, man. I thought the game was fantastic. Now, I've maybe played that starting play spot about, honestly, 10, 15 times. So playing this demo, mate, it does something to me now. Like, I just don't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's just that starting there with Resi 4, because I've done it in VR, I've done the HD remakes and all that there. I always get to like 5 hours in, I give up. But I was almost like, I don't even really, even playing it today, I was like, I'm not even enjoying this. The shooting's very fucking hard as well, I'll tell you that.
Shooting's not great at all.
I was missing everything. And that's why I said about Resident Evil 8 in VR is it's actually easier because your aim's perfect. Whereas this, I was missing everything. It's like, Jesus Christ.
It was awful. That's actually the moment I turned it off, because I couldn't get used to the movement anyway for a start. But then once the first kind of enemy came at me, I aimed and shot, and I was moving my thing, and I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And not hitting the single shot. Compared to like Resi Village, and I haven't played it in VR yet, but like just even normally, the aiming's really, really good.
Yeah.
Once you take off. Yeah, I took off aim acceleration on Village, and it was phenomenal.
So they've changed up a lot. Well, when I say changed up a lot, they changed up the start and kind of the way it starts and shit like that. But I'm just kind of thinking, it's like, I'm going to bat. I probably will, but I'm just kind of like, I don't even.
I wouldn't. I'd honestly save your money.
Why? I know I like it, and I know I want to play it, and I will play it. But I'm almost like, even just playing that demo, you go to this part of the village and you have to last a certain length of time. The problem I had is I really don't enjoy the shooting. If the shooting was like Dead Space, I'd be happy enough. But the shooting is nowhere near as fun as Dead Space. It's just, I like the story in Resident Evil, I like the world, but fuck me, coming off the back of Dead Space, I thought it was really, honestly, it really showed you its flaws. Like, the combat in Dead Space is so fucking satisfying, shooting their wee legs and all off, whereas I feel like I fucking was using my elbows to use on the joysticks. It's fucking...
Yeah, the shooting was awful. Really bad.
And I probably see if we didn't play Dead Space, I probably wouldn't even realize, mate. But coming off the back of Dead Space has really highlighted that, and I'm
Dead
really
Space
shocked.
was like really well done, like as a remake, really well done.
It seems still very similar, even from what I'm playing. It still feels like Resident Evil 4. It's been
People
remade.
say that Dead Space is the Resident Evils in space.
No, but I'm saying even
call
with
it.
Resident Evil 4, it still seems so similar to the original. And I've played through that twice in terms of the starting areas in the past year. It's that fucking fresh in my mind because I went through the Oculus Quest on it. So there is a wee funny bit though. So in Resident Evil 4, I don't know if you even played this at the start, but there's a dog and you can set it free. And it
He's
does
dead
help.
in this one.
He's fucking lying there dead in this one. But
I
suppose
think
it's
I've
not the
seen
same
a clip of
dog.
that.
Suppose it's not the same
Yeah.
dog. I'm interested to see what's going to happen from it. I was reading people's
Why don't you
thoughts
wait and
online.
see? Wait and see.
Sure,
Well, and ban day one.
the reviews will come out. It's not that dear, it's only 50 quid.
Yeah.
But it is
Just
the
wait and
guys who
see.
made 2 and I love 2. I will bat, like me, I'm going to bat. And when is it out? When's actually the date for that? That's
It's
21st
towards
or
the
something?
end, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I will get it. Have to, mate, for the show. For
No,
our
you
listeners
don't.
out there. For Tim.
I'm telling you don't.
For Tim.
Tim doesn't even like Resident Evil. He doesn't play scary games.
I'm manifesting what Tim is in my head. Yeah. So yeah, that's at the end of the month. We'll see. I'll see what the reviews say, mate. But everyone was loving it, and I was like, okay, well, I feel like I left out here. But whatever. It is obviously because I've played it so recently, and I'm just kind of like a bit burnt out in Resi 4.
I'm gutted like by the gameplay of it. I was hoping to like it so I could go back and play 2 and 3.
Can't even remember 2 being that bad. That's what I mean.
I played 2 and I didn't like it. I didn't like the movement on it.
It's just I just prefer Dead Space kind of movement.
Mm.
And it is, mate, honestly, if you watch it, they put in more animations to him and it's just made it a bit more awkward. Item 5, and I hope you watch this, and I swear to God, I know you haven't even watched this trailer. Look at me right now, Bobby.
I'm seeing what item 5 is again.
Robocop Rogue City trailer.
I've seen parts of it, the gameplay, yeah.
Welcome to Detroit. Crime runs rampant as the city lies on the edge of ruin. People fighting for scraps as others live extravagant lives of luxury. Control of the Detroit Police Department is given to the Omni Consumer Products Corporation in an attempt to restore order. You're that solution, Robocop, a cyborg tasked with protecting the city. Do you like Robocop? You ever seen the films?
Yeah, I've seen the films. That's all right. Like, I wouldn't be a big fan.
Robocop's amazing, mate. It's that 80s cyberpunkish, grimy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, man. I actually think I watched Robocop maybe a few years back. So, what do you know about the studio behind this?
Who is it?
Forget the name actually, but actually I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up for the podcast here. So, they made a wee game, a few years ago. Well, they made actually 3 games. No, this will be their third game that I know of. I believe they made the Rambo game. Do you ever hear about this?
No.
Oh mate, the Rambo game was like a fucking huge flop. Yeah, so Rambo the video game, it was released in 2014. IGN had given it a 3 out of 10.
Jesus.
Developer Taeon. I hope I'm right in this. I might not be actually. Forgive me if I'm not. So, oh, it is. Yeah, so it's made by Taeon, the last game, and this one done well. So the game they're going to bring up currently sitting at a 4.3 on Amazon. Let's see what IGN give it. IGN give it a 4 out of 10 actually, but sitting on Metacritic. On PS5, it's a 62, but I heard good things. Terminator Resistance, the guys who made that,
That actually looks good.
doesn't it? And
I don't know whether it's because I like Terminator.
I love Terminator,
Yeah.
but
It actually looks quite good.
people are really high on it, like in terms of proper reviewers who are just kind of like playing the game on PlayStation or on YouTube and shit. There's a few people I watch who were like, "No, this is actually a really good game, and it's very faithful to the films." So that's who's making this. So whether that might burn you out or not, bear in mind that IGN did give it a fucking shitty review for the past 2 games.
I think it might be one of them games, though. If you're into the IP, you might enjoy it.
So in terms of that, what did you think of the trailer that you seen?
The graphics and all look quite good. It's obviously running on a PC, that trailer, because you can see the full on like ray trace reflections. It looks like it's running 60 FPS. The shooting looks a bit iffy.
Doesn't it? a bit
Yeah,
stiff.
yeah, looks very, very stiff.
Do you know what it looks like?
Um,
That game, Hearts. That's how the gameplay felt. Kind of stiff and
mm,
doesn't. It's not smooth. But that's what it gives me the vibe off these AA games that are gorgeous. But there's only certain sections that are gorgeous.
just yeah, and the gameplay's not good. The actual world all look good, like the ray tracing and all look quite good in the puddles and stuff.
It's like going home with a 10 out of 10, and then you bang her, and then you wake up next morning, and she's fucking sitting there and she's fucking got Down syndrome or something. And
Oh
she's just
Jesus!
rotten. Like, that's Lucy best. Like that level. Like, it looks gorgeous, but then everything underneath is just
Horrible.
held up by fucking bits of wood and fucking elastic bands. Could fall
Yeah.
apart at any minute. That's what Atomic Hearts was like. So I don't know. Like I heard about it a while ago and was kind of like interested. I actually feel like I might try that Terminator Resistance. You know,
I'm gonna check it now in this PlayStation store.
hit me with it.
I
What price? I'm gonna guess right now. It's sitting. It's most likely in the March sale. I'm gonna guess the price is $17.99, and that's UK pounds. Hit me with a bobber.
Resistance enhanced,
Enhanced,
yeah.
yeah.
$39.99.
Fuck off. Do you know what's a good litmus test? Steam reviews, because they're user generated. What do you think
Yeah.
it's sitting on Steam?
What way does our system work?
So they'll have reviews, and it goes from like mostly negative, or no, overwhelmingly negative, mostly negative, neutral, positive, very positive,
I'm
overwhelmingly.
gonna say positive.
Very positive. So, like, that's very good. You know what I mean? And this is what I've started looking at, those types of reviews for it. So, although someone says the game time is between 2 to 8 hours. Do you know what I mean? So, but then someone's on it for 26 hours. I don't know where they're getting their time from.
See,
19 hours, 24 hours.
I want to try and move myself away from some reviews because I find now you're waiting on the embargo coming up, and then you're looking at the score and you're like, oh fuck, I only got 7 or only got 6. It looks shit. Whereas
what
before, back in the day, you would have just went down on the release day and had a look at the back of it,
Yeah, that's.
and you're like, oh, that looks class, and then you would have played it, and then you would have made your own kind of review on it.
So, there was a film, I did some movies, right? There was a film called The Whale. It stars Brendan Fraser. He's an obese man. I can relate. But he's like morbidly obese. And
Yeah,
a lot of Oscar buzz about it. But it also has a lot of bad reviews. Then some people are saying it's really good. I absolutely fucking love the film. And it's like, Rotten Tomatoes is like, I think it's sitting like the 60s at the moment. But it just shows, like, honestly, mate, I think with Steam reviews, what's good about it is the people who are reviewing it shows you the time that they played it. So you can kind of look and see what they thought about it. So I actually go into that. And if it's overwhelmingly positive or very positive, I go by that. So I think there was a game recently that was like poorly reviewed. And then I looked at that and it was like overwhelmingly positive. And I was like, fuck it, I'll bet. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, reviews, especially with movies and shit, man, I'm just kind of whatever anymore.
movies. I don't listen to the reviews at all, or like I don't take any notice of them. If I like the look of it, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And maybe I should take that approach with games too.
Yeah. Like usually with movies, I used to like kind of go on the Rotten Tomatoes and say what was well rated and I'll watch it. Even if I'm not in the mood for it,
Yeah,
I would just have to watch it. And the
I
problem
don't
is,
even know what I watched. I said earlier, I watched Scream 6. I don't even
oh, it's
know
getting
what.
that's well rated. Now, is it better
Is
than
it?
Scream 5? I thought it was Scream 5 was terrible.
Oh yeah, I like Scream 5, but no, this one was better. This one was very good. Like,
Right. So, like, I just go on Netflix now and just kind of scroll and see what I'm in the mood for. See, you know what I mean? It's almost like, and I just think you need to look at games and judge them that way because that's the way to kind of play them and see what really, really appeals to you at that moment in time. So I'm just looking here. So item 6. This is kind of something I want to talk to you about, by the way. So new Dragon Ball game announced. Bandai Namco has announced the return of Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi series over 15 years after the franchise's last main entry. Revealed over the weekend at the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2023, a brief teaser trailer confirmed that the new game is in development. It doesn't have a title, confirmed platforms, or release window yet. As the trailer simply said, a new Sparking begins. Dragon Ball Z Sparking is the name of the Budokai franchise in Japan. Bobby, guess what I've been watching?
what have you been watching?
Kamehameha. I'm on episode 5. Dragon Ball Z Kai. Are you familiar with the Kai side of things?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I watched Dragon Ball Z growing up. And do you remember it was like fucking 2 episodes and there's about fucking 600 of said C, Dragon Ball Z. Kai, obviously, it's a bit more of like an abridged version. The problem I have, mate, see, why are things so hard to buy in 2023? You literally can't buy it online. I would have paid to watch it online. If someone said, look, 30 quid, you get the whole access, I would have been like, yeah, no problem. So I had to
Yeah.
go and use nefarious ways. I had to sail the seas. I tried this twice in the past 5 years. I watched it when Logan was just, I think it was 1. Got up to like Gohan. I think it was like episode 5. Gohan starts to turn into a fucking ape. Turned it off. Watched it last year on my PC. Got up to where he's training in the afterlife. Now he's just died. Goku's just died. Raditz is dead.
Okay.
And I'm actually a bit more invested now. Like I'm just kind of feel like, oh, now I'm invested. For some
I'm
reason,
excited.
like the third time lucky that I'm okay. I'm into this now.
It's unreal, mate.
I know I've watched, like I used to watch it all the time. I got like
And
Boo Saga.
Super is class as well.
Second now. Super. So tell me about Super. So what's after Kai?
So they done Dragon Ball GT.
So
but
that's
it's
so
not,
Dragon Ball
It's not.
is
Yeah,
the
Dragon
first
Ball.
Dragon Ball
First one.
said. See
You have Z.
the GT
You
is not
can
canon,
You can. It's not canon. But
right?
it has like Super Saiyan 4 and stuff on it, but that's not canon. So Super takes off after Z.
Right.
It is the canon.
And how many episodes is there?
Ooh, I don't know. There's quite a lot.
How many
Hang on, let me
movies is
check
there?
here. There is. You've got the Frieza movie. You've
Now,
got.
are the movies just abridged versions of the show?
Yeah, so the movies they'll do it because I think the movies come out first. Not all of them, like, but the movie came out first, and then the show does it a wee bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
Just adds a wee bit more context to it and stuff like that. There and does things a wee slightly different. So you've got Broly movie, you've got the Frieza movie, you've got Battle of the Gods, and then you've got the newest one that came out there, which is the Dragon Ball superhero one.
Right.
Which is class. It's a throwback to Gohan.
Gohan Trunks. That's how I remember.
Yeah,
Androids.
because he kind of went fruity pretty much at the end of Z,
Right.
and all through Super pretty much. He's
So
a
I'm
family
wondering, like,
man.
I loved, like, I mean, see, as a kid, mate, fucking loved it. Phenomenal.
That's
like I would have said.
unbelievable.
But watching it as an adult, I'm like, will it hook me again? And I'm hoping
I
it does.
really hope it does.
Be sitting there, but I remember I loved it. Like I was absolutely into it.
Yeah.
They used to have fucking fights for about 6 episodes.
like Super is phenomenal.
Where do you watch
Like
Super
it
in the
really
UK?
is. You can probably watch it on that website I sent you.
But see, the thing is, this is the type of person I am. Like all my mates watch sports on streams, and they're good quality, but they're unreliable. And I'm like, I'd rather just pay and it works. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, if I can know, I can just watch it whenever. Is it on Funimation? I think it might be.
It is. It
We'll
is.
just do that then.
And it's on Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
So this game, I've never really got into the Dragon Ball games. I played a wee bit of this back on PS2 in my mate's house. I bought Kakarot. It's sitting there. So Kakarot, I think it is kind of Dragon Ball Z abridged, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the whole Dragon Ball Z story.
And it's 60 FPS. So after this, I might get into it.
It is good.
With this, so that they're like kind of like fighters, aren't they? These kinds, the Budokai
Yeah.
games, they are just fighters.
It's fighting games.
So what's your hype level for it? Like, well, obviously you,
Like
anyone knows Bobby has a. Let me see your Goku tattoo.
that's from Super.
Is
You
that
got
Goku or
half-
Gohan?
No, it's Goku. It's Super Saiyan. It's Goku Black. Half of it's Goku Black.
What's
which you don't
Gohan's
know
son
about.
called? Goten?
No, that's Goku's son as well.
What the fuck? Goten
Goku
is a
has-
child. There's a child called Goten.
Goten, yeah. That's Goku's other son.
Right. Well, not spoil. Is it spoilers talking about this?
No, not really. It's fucking like Z's fucking years and years old. Like,
Yeah. But I'm watching them and I kind of
90s.
want to be like, I want to kind of.
not really. You've obviously seen, if you got to the Buu saga, you know who Goten is.
I just don't remember the names. It's like fucking.
So Goten is Goku's other son. He looks like him. He's got the hair.
So what I write. Is there enough drama in it to keep me hooked? Like what as
Oh,
an
yeah.
adult? Will I
Yeah.
be?
Oh yeah, see Super and all. Like I was watching it every week in Japanese when it released every Sunday.
Do you prefer Japanese or do you watch the English dub?
I prefer Japanese now.
Kamehameha.
Love it.
Kamehameha.
The
But,
subtitle- English is phenomenal too. Like the voice actors in English are really good too, but the Japanese it's just made to be Japanese. Like
Who's your favorite character? Goku? Vegeta. Everyone loves
Frieza.
Vegeta. Frieza. Fuck, mate. I just remember.
I read the manga and all every month still.
Do you? What do you read that on?
Online, it's like a wee page, Dragon Ball page on Facebook. They release it every month when it comes out.
Happy days.
So the manga, although the Super show was stopped at the minute, but the manga's continued on from it.
So what's happening? Is it done now?
No, they're going to do more. They haven't announced it, but they're going to do more.
See, that's a show. Even Attack on Titan, I think, was good, but I really,
Phenomenal.
I feel like I need to get into Dragon Ball because I loved it as a kid. But even last time I tried to watch it, it was like it wasn't hooking me, and I don't think I could do Dragon Ball Z watching that, where it's just there's so much to cover and there's so much filler. I need it to be a bit more punchy. So I'm liking it. I'm gonna watch it right after this. I have it. I'm on episode 5. I think it was on episode 8 or 9 last time. So, you know, he was training in zero gravity, chasing the monkey.
Please get into it, and then you can watch Super. Unbelievable. And then we'll start a Dragon Ball podcast.
Jesus Christ. Do you ever see people do that? Just fucking one topic, like a Star Wars, or so literally a Star Wars podcast. Like, what are you going to talk about anymore?
The movies
Fuck
and
me.
all them new ones are brilliant.
I was trying to get Logan to watch it. Abel was watching it with me. Abel actually likes
I got them into it years ago. I actually put them back in my old house. I stuck it all on for. I only had the 3 at the time, the 3 big ones, and they watched it. And I accidentally put it on. It was Japanese stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know. I just stuck it on for them. Went back downstairs, and all I heard was like fucking ching chong ching. They were all fighting upstairs, but just doing
Ching,
Japanese
chong,
accents.
ching.
Aye. So they were all making the Japanese noises and fighting each other, pretending. And I was like, yes, they all get into it. They love it now. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, but Abel, I got Abel. She watches a lot of Studio Ghibli show things. Now I don't want her to be a wee anime girl where she's like, oh, well. You know what I mean? That's the kind of it's the concern. It's even more scary when your son turns to you one day and goes, oh, well, have we bunny ears on?
Fucking hell.
but I no, like I'm enjoying it already.
Good.
And I remember watching the first Super Saiyan kind of happen, and I remember thinking that's cool as fuck. But
I remember watching it, and it was like morning time before I went to school, and it was every kind of because that Frieza fight went on for fucking ages. That whole fight scene. It was episodes and episodes, like. But see when that happened, when Krillin got killed, and Goku just gets so angry, and the hair just starts flashing, and you're like,
I think I remember Trunks and all was in it. I don't know what that, but he was an adult, so there's so much.
That's time travel, and the time travel on it is phenomenal. See, once you get the super, there's a wee
Stop
bit of time.
spoiling. Stop spoiling.
Well, right.
Stop. Let me watch it.
Getting excited.
You're fucking sitting there near fucking jizzing. Call me a nerd by Final Fantasy, and you're going, the time traveling Trunks. Oh.
Time travel and super and all. It's brought back, and it's so good. Like there's so many twists and turns in super. It's unbelievable. And it's like genuine, like what the fuck just happened there.
So you know, like you're kind of like, I don't know what to play at the moment. And you're like, see the mood you're in at the moment. They're the worst moods ever. When you don't know what to watch, you don't want to play. I almost get, this is weird, like slightly depressed, where I'm like, I actually don't enjoy anything right now. There's no meaning to my life because I actually think I'm slightly ADHD, where I just need my mind occupied. And when I don't have something to hook onto, it fucking melts me. So the fact that I have Dragon Ball to watch, and that's kind of all I'm going to watch. I have Prime there, Metroid to beat, and I have my long form RPG. It's like a wee Asperger's dream. Not that I have Asperger's, but something to keep my mind occupied. So yeah, plan is then, and actually to be fair, mate, Kakarot's on Switch as well.
Is it?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just these.
I mean, I played it on 30 on Series X. That's where I played it. That's fine.
I mean, I don't think you understand how good these OLED is. Like right now, you're playing with a fucking Fisher Price. I'm there elegant as fuck with top hat on, sitting playing my fucking. I swear to God, that OLED is sexy. I would boot my VR down the street for it, and it's making me play more games because
I've done this before. Remember when you got it last year? It made you play.
But you made me sell
No, it didn't.
it. You said now. So
I didn't say now. Sell your OLED.
I talked myself into it. You know what happened? I ended up getting the Steam Deck thinking, well, I can emulate the using UC. And I read a load of things that was like, oh, you can do it. You can do it, but it's effort. I cannot deal with effort in this day and age. That's my problem. That's why I don't stream. Don't do stream of football. I don't want effort. I have money. I was like, I will pay for a good experience if you let me. I was going to buy, I actually looked there. eBay had Dragon Ball Z Kai, all of it. Some guy was selling it 35 quid on DVD.
That's not too bad.
But then it's like, I can buy it with DVDs, plus want to watch it now. So I sailed the high seas on Pirate Bay and got it. But if you were selling it officially on Amazon or on Amazon Prime, you could have made money.
I would love it on Blu-ray, like.
Yeah. So I'm watching it
Love it on
4x3. Black bars on
Yeah.
the side.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't mind it anyway, mate. It looks good. So that's it. That wraps that up. The last thing we'll have to cover is just heavy hitters releasing this week. So 2 games that we want to talk about. First up is Switchback VR. Arriving March 16th. Dark Pictures Switchback VR will take you on a multi-sensory ride on where you'll need to survive the terrifying ghost ship and its distorted apparitions, confront hideous demonic incarnations, and fight for your life against otherworldly vampires trapped beneath the desert. What? Ghost ship, desert, vampires? Didn't know it was actually doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
I might be game for this. to be honest
I
with you.
think I'm game for this. I think this will bring me back.
I think that appeals to me a lot.
Yeah.
So you played
It's
Rush of
30
Blood?
odd nip in that.
Fairly new. You played Rush of Blood, didn't you?
Yeah.
Rush of Blood was very good.
Did it. Yeah.
Do you want to shit yourself playing these games? You obviously don't like horror.
They're not really that scary though.
Don't
But
think.
this one does, like the trailer I tagged you in, and like you're blinking because of the eye tracking.
And the move.
It goes by that, and they're moving, and you're like, because you're obviously going to be tense because you're kind of like you don't want to blink until maybe your roller coaster or whatever starts moving. But it looks quite interesting. I think this will bring me back to VR for a while.
I like these wee games though. It's just like kind of, I can do a level, jump out. I will play. I actually want to get this, and that's what. So that's Friday. Yeah, it's out on Friday. No, actually not even Thursday, which is a weird day. But I really liked Rush of Blood, and to be fair, I remember thinking it even looked decent. So this, I'm interested. So the ghost ship's interesting. So obviously going to take place around different levels, and then you've got that VR, and then you've made a note as well. So obviously Bobby's a big fucking dweeb here who loves fucking Dragon Ball Z and all sorts. Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 2. So Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 2 dropped overnight yesterday, March 10th, and is available now with a fresh new battle pass, new map, including a new mega city with futuristic vibes and new equipment in game. Aaron Yeager, fuck yeah, comes to Fortnite as the skin. And did you insert that?
Yeah.
I knew you did. And the iconic omnidirectional mobility gear will be dropping as usable equipment later this season. Attack on Titan's been in this before, hasn't it?
No.
Has it not?
No. It's been rumored so many times. The reason why this got me really excited is I think they're going to do, they do the live events, the main events, like towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do a Titan.
Right, that'd be pretty cool.
I think they're going to do a Titan. They've added the gear in, the ODM gear.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll do a Titan.
Do you know my problem is with Fortnite at the moment? They've too much going on. Keep it simple, stupid.
I think you should download it and we'll give it a go in no build mode.
I'll play it with you, but like even when we last played there, I was like, there's just too much shit going on now. They've actually just
I even dropped out around then because there was just a lot of crap. There was like crystal stuff and all going on.
I remember that shit, but it's like
Yeah.
just like kind of
First-
keep it simple.
First person mode is rumored for this season.
So this map, is it like, are they keeping this map as the only map, or are they doing other maps?
No, it's usually they have the one map.
Or is it a brand new map, or is it just we've
What
added
they
in an
do
area?
is every season the map will kind of change.
Right.
So like this season last, the whole in the main event, the whole map flipped into the water upside down, and a whole new map was revealed.
Okay.
A whole new island. So what they'll do is every season they'll add new bits, they'll add different places in,
Mhm.
different points of interest. Maybe remove some or add just extras and things like that there. So they do change it up regularly every chapter.
Well, I'll play it. I'll give it a go. May as well.
We should.
Nothing to lose.
It looks like a bit of fun.
Yeah. So
First person mode, I think will be insane.
when's that announced the release?
It's rumored. It's been
Rumoured.
heavily rumored for a while now, and I think some like footage and stuff's leaked. I seen and it looks class.
Depends how well that controls. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they've added no build. I think it'll be for no build.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be in that, which makes sense because the building and all wouldn't really work.
That'll be a nightmare. Aye.
Yeah, so they've added no build mode a couple of seasons ago, and it's
Mhm.
really popular with a lot of people that just don't know how to build. So I think first person's going to come. I think it's going to be class.
I'll give it a download and we'll have a go and then we can talk about it. Sure, next week. So yeah. Apart from that, anything else you wanted to cover before we drop off, Bobby?
No, man, I think we've everything covered.
Everything covered. So what are you gonna play then? What are you gonna dedicate yourself to?
The Switch.
Your OLED.
OLED tomorrow, hopefully.
So I've been told if I tell Bobby to play something, he will just not play it.
Yes.
Have I been honest? Has it annoyed you? Me being like,
Dude, I would love if we get a following for like a fan to go back to every show and count how many times you say, you should play this. You should play this. You should play this, because it's at least 3 times a show.
you've never told me to play anything. You told me to watch stuff.
Hmm. Anyway,
It's just look. There's a lot of games. To be fair, you told me what to play Cult of the Lamb, and you play that. I think I'll just let you
told
kind
me
of
to
find
play
your...
Hades,
Did I?
and I loved it. So that's why, if you liked Hades, that's why I think you'll like Cult of the Lamb.
So even though you love that, you just don't listen to me about anything else.
Yeah, it's in my head. If someone keeps telling me to do it, I'll naturally not do it.
If I was a betting man, I think if you could right now, which games will Bobby love? If I was a betting man, I would say Link's Awakening, you would absolutely adore, and Metroid Dread. And that's why I'm interested. You've already bet. You're gonna play Metroid Dread.
I've
You
got
have
it, yeah.
Now, if you
Apparently,
play
it's
it,
very good on the TV.
potentially, yeah. But you
I
see,
was
when
watching the IGN review, they were saying like it's phenomenal on the TV.
I mean, it's just the OLED handheld. It's just phenomenal. I just love having that. But I think if you give that a good, if you play it right away, you'll probably be like, oh, it feels good to play. Which as soon as you play that, the combat, like the shooting and shit, just feels so responsive. I actually don't think there's actually a game that controls better that I've ever played. But then when you start getting abilities, mate. Like you have an ability to turn into like a ball, and you'll go through little holes and shit, and it turns into it just goes nuts with other abilities, what you can do and speed and stuff. Honestly, it's just so like a game to pick up and play, and it's not easy. Like there's bosses I got stuck on, but I was never frustrated where I was like, I can't beat it.
Yeah.
But then it was almost like the Dark Souls approach where it's like, oh, I'm actually getting really good. But there was nothing that was too hard, but it was like, oh, I can't beat this game. Like I beat it quite quickly. But it's just, in terms of people who may not even like Metroidvania's open-endedness, the way it will take you through the level, oh man, I am so excited to play it. Like, if you were actually streaming it, I would sit and watch it. I'd be like a couple of days, yeah. But
That involves fucking
I'm not going to get you to stream it.
stuff.
Just if you play it, let me know your thoughts.
Yeah.
Other than that, that is all for this week. If you like the podcast, so I'm joking, write in any questions to readyoutpod@gmail.com. Starting tomorrow, we are doing another podcast for the Banter Room, which will be me, Bobby, and Kieran talking about all things random. We'll be kind of probably a bit more rated R. So if you're a bit sensitive,
spicy.
if you're sensitive or
Don't watch it.
transgender, in Bobby's case, don't listen to it.
Don't listen to it at all.
Apart from that, peace out, A10. Bobby.
Goodbye.
Bye now.
I'm all dry.